Hi, I'm Claire Tompkins, the Clutter Coach. I am passionate about organizing because it makes my clients' lives so much easier, more relaxed, and with more time to spend the way they want to. Because that is what organizing is all about. It's not about being neat or having the right containers, although that helps. It's really about getting more time for what matters to you. My specialty is chunking down this big topic so it's not overwhelming. That's the concept behind my book, 5 Minutes to a Relaxing Bedroom. And that's the concept for this podcast, too, which is based on my first book, 52 Simple Ways to Get Organized. Both of those are available on my website. In every podcast, I will lay out a simple organizing concept and tell you why it's important. I'll also include an action step at the end so you can start practicing right away. Okay, here we go. Today's topic is piles. There are many kinds of piles. There are clothes you've worn, there's the clean laundry, the dirty dishes, piles of books or magazines that you're going to get around to reading. But for this podcast, I'm just talking about piles of paper. I'll tell you whether piling is a no-no, the types of piles you may have, and how they happen. I'll also share a client story with you. As in every podcast, at the end, I'll give you a simple action step that you can put into practice right away. It's the little steps that count. Okay, is piling all right? The answer is yes, sometimes, and sometimes no. As with so many other organizing situations, there's not one single right answer. What's right is what works best for you. The key is with other organizing situations is whether or not you can find what you need when you need it. That's important. You'll probably hear me say that often in future podcasts. You need to be able to find what you need when you need it, and not waste time. So here are some examples of when it's okay to pile. If you pile up papers because you're a teacher and you're going through the pile sheet by sheet to grade them, then a pile is fine. If you've got a pile of wedding gift cards that you need to send thank yous for, a pile works for this too. Why is that? Because in those cases, there's no reason to order or sort the papers. Dealing with the one on top is the same as dealing with the second one from the bottom. That's another important concept. Don't organize when you don't have to. Also, in these examples, you're not looking for anything. Each item in the pile needs to get handled, but the sequence is irrelevant. Sorting is pretty much a waste of time. Another more controversial example of this is receipts and documents you're keeping for taxes. A client once showed me, rather shyly, a desk drawer that he'd been stashing his receipts in. They were wedged in there every which way. He asked me if that was okay. And then I asked, what is your process for doing taxes? He said, well, I dump the drawer out on the floor and I enter the receipts one by one in Excel to get my totals. I told him that sounded fine to me. By all means, categorize and file tax receipts if you have the desire to. But if you resist doing this noble but tedious task, they are going to end up in your general filing pile and need to be sorted out later. My client's system, although it looked messy, had a key important feature. All the receipts were in the same place. He didn't have to look for them or worry that they were hidden somewhere else, or find them after he filed his taxes. Piles that don't work are the ones where the items are mixed types. That's where you're searching for the Visa bill in a pile of other mail, magazines, printed out recipes, catalogs, school papers, and product manuals. Whenever you're searching for something, that's a sign that you need to get more organized, especially if you're tearing your hair out over it. Why do piles form? They form when we don't take the time to act on the individual items in the pile. Face it, the business of life involves paper, and plenty of it. The bigger the pile, the more resistant you tend to be toward it. You look at it and see a big list of stuff you need to get done that will take you way more time than you have. But what's often taking up a lot of space there is items you weren't ready to make a decision about. You needed more information, or more time, or to figure out how your schedule was going to go. There might be event flyers, invitations, coupons, offers, sale announcements, stuff like that. The good news is that a lot of those have expired. That means you can have a moment of regret, or not, and just toss them out. And that brings us to my favorite tip for dealing with piles. Pull some sheets from the bottom of the pile. Those are the ones that have been there the longest, which means they're most likely to be irrelevant, or expired, or just unimportant now. That means they should be no-brainers to make a decision about, or the decision's already been made for you. So start at the bottom and keep going up until you feel some resistance, and then you can stop. But you will have done something. Okay, here is your action step for today. Go find a pile, pull out the bottom piece of paper, and see if you can get rid of it. If you can, put it in the recycling or shred it right now. If not, put it where it belongs, right now. If for some reason you can't do that right now, at least stick a post-it on there telling you where to put it and leave it on top of the pile. That's it. You're done with your action step. Hey, thanks for listening. I'm Claire Tompkins, the Clutter Coach. You can find out more about me on my website, www.cluttercoach.net. Read my blog there and also check out my store to find my books for sale and some freebies too. And come back for more next week.